People seem to like the thumbnails. I just find pictures of adults yelling at children, and they're like, "Nice, good."
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Ross just said it too, the thumbnail.
yeah, yeah. Thumbnail absolute peak. Rosh is in both my chats. What a little brown noser. Is that am I allowed to call you that, Rosh? A brown noser? You're an orbiter. You're an orbiter, Rosh. You reply to all of my tweets. And I'm saying that pejoratively. How dare you like me so much? No one likes me that much. First stream, oh yeah. A bunch of people keep saying first time stream. It's very weird. I forgot that when the number of subscribers goes up, that means the number of people who haven't seen me goes up too. Um, it's very surreal. It's like, oh yeah, everyone's just already here now. You're all locked in. It's not a 100,000 people I've never talked to. Am I in the Ivory Tower Discord? No, but that sounds sexual, so that's why I'm not. Hey Ash, how's it going? Do I think the earshot was fake? No. You know how hard it would be to fake an earshot? Well, I don't know. I don't know. I think someone actually. Don't attribute malice to what is just blatant incompetence from the Secret Service, okay? Oh yeah, Firebrand. I see you in the TikTok. Thoughts on the 7.62 FNFAL? Not my favorite gun. Can I say the G word on TikTok, Corey?
Yeah. Repeatedly and talking about it, probably not, but every now and then. I don't think the
Jesus.
algorithm's that good.
I hate TikTok. Anyway,
I know.
welcome TikTokers. For those of you just joining, Unfuck America is doing a tour in Arizona on the 20th at AmFest to break that little conservative bubble, their little hug box safe space. We're all going. We're gonna have a great time debating them. And if you want to support that, there is a link in the description, Act Blue. And if you also want to go, there are tickets available if you want to go to Arizona. So please support the UFA tour. Soy, you are so for real, and I've never found a YouTuber as real as you. You always back up everything with facts. Well, one, that's not true, and second, I'm actually an LLM. What's up? How's it going? You have a weird font. I can't read your name, but are you an adult MAGA and American?
Oh, what? There.
Are you an adult MAGA and American?
No, not either of those.
You're not American, you're not an adult, and you're not MAGA?
Yep.
Okay, sorry, you're the wrong demographic. Corey, I believe we have to get this child out of here. Go do your homework. Go do your homework. Go do your homework. They must not see you go off on Andrew. Oh, is Andrew Wilson going to be there? Fuck me. That's such a moron. Such an insufferable prick. Did I get Erica
So what's
Kirk
your take
pregnant?
on
Is Erica Kirk pregnant?
That's what I heard. I heard that
No
she
shot.
is. I heard that she's 9 months. Oh no, she's like I don't know. I forget what it is.
She's 8 weeks pregnant, and Charlie's been dead
It
for
doesn't
10.
make. That's what it is. Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah.
That sounds like a made up meme because it's too funny to be true. But if it is, we got the JD Vance baby. It's unequivocally definitely JD Vance's child,
Right.
or Trump's. Was it me? No, you would never not catch me touching a Republican woman with a 10-foot pole. I don't know why I joined. Maybe we should have the criteria just like plastered on my forehead, so I don't have to ask every time. It's so easy to not be a child MACA and be American. I don't know why you guys struggle so hard with it. Let me send out a tweet real quick, just in case.
Ooh, that's a good idea. Should do that from now on.
Oh, what? Why would it? Oh, first of all, Corey, when you leave, it turns my face off. I don't know why.
Sorry. Yeah, well, I wanted to tweet real quick. Just as I come to Big Soy Pill, and I put the link in there just in case.
I don't know if TikTok is purposefully malicious, but if you try to copy paste the URL it turns it into like a statement without a hyperlink, and that is by far the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. Um, is there a way to get
Are
the
you
URL
surprised?
to the live stream here? Let's see. Copy link. Oh, God, what an
Yeah,
awful fucking
that's how you
platform.
do it. Sorry, boomer.
What an awful platform. Also, I know, in fact, that X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it censors um, links now, or I guess they have since Elon did it. So,
Hmm.
what did I say? Allegedly, Ash. Whatever. Like, I will never, ever, ever back down from a statement. I'll either disagree with past me or triple down. Oh, guys, I gotta share. Corey, can we? Do you think it's okay if I change my donation sound to the "We Are Charlie Kirk" AI song, or
Oh
do you think
no,
that's
go for it,
copyrighted? I don't
please.
know if
Did you see the
I don't know
lighters
if
that were given out?
no. What were they?
Yeah, so the first 300 people who buy tickets will get a lighter, and it says, "We are Charlie Kirk. We are carrying the flame. We're carrying on the
That's
flame,"
so
something along
funny.
those lines. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting one.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh man, I need one of those. AI slop has entered the building. I don't know if you can copyright AI. Like to claim that it's your original work is like so fallacious considering it's not your work at all. Did I fix the four black pixels? To be honest, I never noticed them, and I haven't started editing the visuals for my next video, so no, but I'll catch them. Hell yeah, some people are getting back in the gym. Damn, this better not be a soy circle jerk for 50 minutes. I'm going to be very upset with you people.
I hope not.
I tweeted out the link, though. I'm sure someone will yell at me. I always get those reply guys. Maybe someone will come in and yell at us for certain individuals on our poster because that's everyone in my comments right now. Uh,
I'm sure.
I hope Charlie is looking up at the state of things with tears of joy. He's like, thank God my wife's having a fourth baby.
Uh,
Oh, Corbin's here. What's up, Corbin? What are your thoughts on you saw what happened in DC today?
I did. Yeah, that's. I mean, I just saw like I've been busy preparing for Thanksgiving tomorrow, so I've only seen like
Mm,
people talking about it. Not necessarily look too much into what it was, but I pretty much get the gist of it. That is, I saw that there was reports of it being possibly not true, but I've also was kind of just like, well, they're just waiting for the family to be notified or something like that.
what part isn't true?
That it happened.
Oh, people are denying that it even happened.
Yeah, yeah. And again, like I
Okay.
just saw like a couple things that were posted just in the few moments that I kind of got free today. Um,
Okay. Yeah. It's funny. I've already signed up for a debate about it, and I'm not even sure what my stance is because all the facts aren't out. But I'm sure at some point I'm going to at least partially blame Trump for deploying the National Guard into D.C. But we'll see.
yeah,
Someone's going to call me a victim blamer.
for sure, of course.
Agent Orange, we are waiting for MAGA to step up and discuss anything Trump related. But so far, we've had one volunteer, and they were a minor and not MAGA, and maybe not even American. So
Or
they failed
human,
on
who
three
knows?
fronts. Nor even human. Could have been an AI. Ask Andrew about his wife opening a pickle jar. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of a troped out, in my opinion.
Mm.
Pickle jar is spent only if it
Hmm.
triggers him, because apparently he's still insecure about it. What are you doing? Why are you? Here we go. Why are you doing an event with Destiny? He's a pretty reprehensible person. Well, one, I'm not going to defend any and all character things, although any and all character things that are proven in court, we'll wait to see what happens there. But two, he is an effective orator against a fascist takeover right now, and I think it behooves us to work with anyone that is going to help us defeat the MAGA administration. And right now, it seems like his character is not more of a liability than it isn't. But let's see.
Well
He
said.
can always dig the hole deeper.
He will.
He will? Oh, guaranteed? Let's see.
Oh, never know.
Speaking of tripling down. Eating some rice and chicken. Thanks for inspiring me to break the liberal stereotype. Hell yeah. Oh, ask Andrew about his wife getting her pickles opened 3 times. Guys, I know it's funny, but it's also like I don't know how much people were talking about this. When he freaked out about that, which by the way, not to say that I was ahead of the curve, but the only reason Charlie brought it up is because I told her to, and because I brought it up in a previous debate, but my thing didn't go viral because I was on the whatever podcast, and I'm not a hot woman. It's understandable. But the whole point is that it's not really a big deal. Like if your wife has 3 baby daddies, like it's actually okay and fine. And if anything, he should be commended for accepting her for who she is and raising children that aren't his own. But because he's a tradcath who shits on women for being, like horrible floozies for sleeping around and pretends like he's this like epitome of masculinity and is a horrible hypocrite and can't hold himself to his own standards. That's why you bring it up and say your ideology makes no sense, you're incoherent, and you're super triggered and insecure. So yeah, Agent Orange, I'm talking to Corey. Corey is the host of this because he has a TikTok account with more than 1,000 followers, so he can actually host a live. And if you want Corey to be with his family on Wednesday nights, go follow me on TikTok.
We'll get you there.
There's an echo. Where would an echo come from? There shouldn't be
Yeah,
one.
I hear it too, but it's I've come to live with it.
Is it on my end?
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, I know what it is. Let's see. If I turn this down, this should get rid of the echo. It's coming out of my headphones. So this is still recording desktop sound. There we go. Sick.
Yep.
Nice.
We're learning.
I'm a genius. We're so good at technology, folks. Every stream, there's got to be some sort of technological issue. This blue screen can't identify that this hat is part of my head. It's attached, and it thinks it's just clothing. I'm never downloading TikTok. It rivals Twitter with its misery. Fair enough. Do you think that Islam is dangerous in America? Why liberals can't say that? Oh, you sound like someone who wants to come up and talk. Learn to rise. Get your ass up here. Get in here. Get him up here. Get him up here. We're talking to you. Learn to rise now. Rise up. Get up in the chat. We want him up here.
Raj, thank you for spelling my name correctly.
Is there a wrong way to spell your name? Oh, without the E?
Oh,
Learn to
man,
rise up here. He wants to
K-O-R-I.
talk about Islam in America. Hop up, big boy. Get him up here. He wants to talk about the Muslims. We love Muslims. Can you pull someone up without them requesting it?
I can send them an invite.
Come on, learn to rise. It's learn to rise. US clearly wants to talk about how Islam is dangerous. How many people have been put on stream so far? One who was a failed on the 3 criteria necessary. Is this going to trigger us back to here we go? Wait, learn to rise USA. I like your little graduate guy in front of an American flag. What's up, buddy? Real quick though, I'm assuming based on your comments that you're probably at least a little MAGA, but are you an adult and an American?
So I'm not.
You're
MAGA.
not MAGA? Okay,
No.
well, that's fine. We'll waive that one just because of what you're about to say, I'm sure. But are you an adult and American?
I'm an adult, yes, but I'm a resident. I'm not an American. I don't have the US.
That's fine. No, you live here. We'll take it. We'll take it. All right. What did you want to talk about?
Dangerous Islam is in America.
Thought you're having some mic issues, buddy. Can you speak a little more clearly into the? Oh.
Hello.
You know, sometimes there's a noise floor. You might have your racism floor. You got to lower it a little bit so we can hear your bigotry.
Is it better now?
A little bit. Go ahead.
Okay, so I said I would like to talk about how Islam is dangerous in America, and
Sure.
I think I'm very good at this subject because I studied Islam quite extensively. So I'm originally from Algeria, North Africa, and I've been Muslim for like 22 years of my life. And I came to the US when I was 22, and I
Mhm.
left Islam exactly the same year when I came here, and it's been like 15 years now. And I am
Okay.
very knowledgeable about this subject. And I did meet with a lot of people from Muslim background, and I got personally threatened multiple times just for mentioning the
Yeah,
topic of
sure.
Islam, of just speaking out about what's within the Quran or within the doctrine, basically. So I think,
Okay.
well, the thing that many people don't recognize, like liberals, among liberals, like some people tries to avoid like talking about these issues, and I think we have freedom of speech that is guaranteed in our First Amendment, and so basically it's our right to talk about Islam, to talk about any religion, any
Sure.
doctrine.
Yeah. Don't you don't have to worry about me silencing you. You're open to talk about anything here. What is your prescription on Islam in America?
So I think, so when I say Islam in America, I'm not afraid that Islam will overtake the American politics or anything. I'm not afraid of that, but I'm very afraid that many people come here and that have Muslim background of Muslim countries, and they try to to apply, and they try to change the laws little by little by trying by silencing us and talking about our doctrine. And we maybe one day we can become like the UK nowadays. So in the UK, a lot of people can't say anything. They don't have the same freedoms that we have here, you know. So they can't speak openly about their feelings or about or discussing the Sharia or speaking about Islam.
Okay, can I pause you? I know where you're going. All right. So first of all, it seems like your contention, and I've heard this criticism. This was super big in 2016. Is that liberals and leftists are very akin to criticize, hyper theocratic nationalist people in America, but as soon as it comes to Islam, they're a little more like, defensive, and they don't want to be perceived as bigots, right? Like that's your kind of your first
Yes.
axiom
Yes.
here, right? So the reason for that is not because that these leftists or liberals are just super embracing of the moon god Allah. It's more of the fact that post 2001 there was a huge wave of Islamophobia, and people from very moderate or even just like non-practicing Muslims or even Sikh or Indian people who aren't Muslim who just looked like they could be were faced with one of the worst waves of discrimination possible because everyone thought that Muslims were going to infiltrate the country and blow it up because of the 9/11 terrorist attacks. So there is a pendulum swing kind of backlash where it's like, hey, I'm afraid and I'm doing my best not to come at these people and make these swathing, this big brush and say all of them are bad. And the problem is the right is doing that. MAGA did do that. Donald Trump came up in 2016 and said, I'm going to ban all Muslim immigration until we can figure out what's going on. Not, hey, let's take an extra look and vet people that come from places where they're more, hyper religious. Not, hey, like let's do more extensive background checks. He said, no, just the religion banned. And so while I am vehemently anti-religion, I'm agnostic, maybe borderline atheist. I don't give Islam special treatment. The reason you see a little bit of that like softness that comes from the left is because of that pendulum swing, because the right is so hyper Islamophobic that the left is scared of being perceived that way. And I understand, by the way, sometimes they do treat radical, Sharia law people with kids' gloves when it's like, hey, no, this is just as bad as any Christian theocracy crap that you would disagree with. So far, do you understand where I'm going with?
I'm aligned with what you say. To be honest with you, yeah, I think we are.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Okay, so then as far as Islam in America, in my opinion, in the same way that I don't like any religion, I don't really like anyone who is hyper religious in any way, shape, or form, whether that be Christian, Hindu, Islamic. Just not a fan. I don't like when people use religion to inform their decisions, especially not in government. So I'm very upset right now with the way that people are trying to infect our country with Christian nationalism. And yeah, if people immigrated here and they're Muslim, whatever. But if they start trying to like instruct Muslim doctrine into the government, local or larger, not a fan. I really don't want that to happen. I don't think that Islam is unique in that way. So I think that as long as we can separate church and state, I don't care who comes here. I don't care what they practice. I don't care if they pray 5 times a day. day or 2 times a day or once a week or never, as long as they're not bringing it into their decisions when they make governmental law, I don't give a shit. And so I don't think that Islam is uniquely a threat to our country any more than Christianity is. Do you accept that as a
Yes.
axiom?
Blind. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm basically I'm an agnostic atheist. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm fully atheist, fully agnostic atheist. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, now that I've elucidated, do we have any disagreements? It sounds like we're pretty on board then here.
I think we're on board after talking to you, but it's very rare that I have some. When I was in the university, when I was old, I think I met a lot of leftists, and many people were very afraid of even speaking up against Islam. And I'm like, hey, this is exactly the same. The doctrine and the verses are exactly the same as the Bible. Sometimes, you know. So for me, like, why do you condemn some verses, but you cannot speak up about the others? You know. And I do agree with you
Yeah.
that Islam is not
Then
uniquely a danger to this society, but many religions are. I don't care about if someone prays. I don't know, like fast. It's up to them, but like when they tries to force that into our throat, that's gonna be a problem for me.
right. And so I think let's end it here because this is I think we'll find agreement. I don't like that there are certain towns that are like, hey, it is now like blasted air horn, call to prayer 5 times a day because we have more religious people in power. But the problem is that the people complaining about that are Christian theocrats that are like, and I want to enforce every week that we all go to Sunday church, that we have the 10 Commandments in classrooms, and those people have way more power right now. So as much as I might go on board and say, yeah, I'm not a fan of not like the massive wave of Muslim immigration, but just, hey, I don't like it if these Muslim people decide that they're going to put their religion into politics. I especially don't like that the people complaining about that are the ones with all the power who want to do the same thing, but just with Christianity. So yeah, it's not something you shouldn't complain about, but I think there's a bigger problem right now, and it's not Islamic people and their religion. It's Christianity and their religion. But both, again, I don't view very positively. Also, hi, Kyler, what's going on?
There is like another point I would like to mention, and I think it's not just Muslims in America, but even like some Christians in America. So some people don't understand democracy and don't understand the value of democracy and how it works. And I think a lot of people died. A lot of people died and died for us to get where we are today, you know. And so we have we have all these rights, you know, and we have these strong democratic institutions that try to protect our rights. And I think it's very bad that many people don't believe in these rights anymore, and they're basically opening up the entire door for the government or for anyone to come and take away the rights. And it can be ignorance, you know, but I'm very afraid of that, and I didn't go to K-12 school here, so I came directly. I went to my master's, PhD, so I never went to school here. So I don't know if the school is.
Don't worry, you're much more educated than all of the people here, based on what you've just described. So don't worry about it. But what are you not sure about?
So I'm not sure, like, if the school system is not trying to teach children how democracy works here, how the government works here.
The school system here, we do not have the public infrastructure, and we especially are not going to going forward. Like, this is not something that's going to change. It's going to get worse, where no one understands civics. No one understands, like, the role of democracy. The only thing that we really learn about government mandatorily between K through 12 is that we need to say the Pledge of Allegiance for, like, the first 6 years of our life in school, and that, maybe there's 3 branches of government, but no one can name them. So it's atrocious. You probably know 100% more than the average American. And democracy is in danger right now insofar as just no one understands what's so important about everyone having the right to vote, everyone's voice being heard, proportional representation. It's atrocious. You're the example, the prime example of like brain drain from another country where you're overachieving. You've heard about all of these amazing, opportunities in America, and you're just way better than probably most of our country because you actually have a higher education and studied and learned English on your own. Like, you probably understand English better than most people natively born here. It sucks. And your worries are rightfully placed. I'm worried as well. People are throwing democracy out the window right now. You can see that with all the Trump stuff, but those people would just as likely support a king. So yeah, it's bad. I'm sorry, I can't
Yeah,
make you feel any better about it. You're right
yeah.
to worry.
I have like another question, and that's gonna be my last one. So, what's your
Okay, make it
views
quick
on?
because you've been up here a while. I think there's someone else
Okay,
who wants to
yeah,
come up.
yeah. Sorry. So, what's your views on naturalization? So, do you think I'm not
Everyone should be.
against
I
immigration?
want 100,000 more learned arises in the American people. People that have higher educations want to come here and make our country better. Naturalize them instantly. There should be a fucking toll booth, and we just slap a big sticker on your head, and you're a citizen. I hate that it takes like 15 fucking years, and they can't vote and they can't participate. It's atrocious. They work so much harder than the average American. They contribute so much more wealth and value and invention wise. I work with a bunch of these people, or we used to work at the Berkeley lab, and it's just like all these Italians and Moroccans and Nigerians and all these people who are just hyper intelligent, hyper focused, hyper pro America, and they can't get their citizenship because it's just a shitty system. So I think more naturalization needs to happen faster.
Yeah, yeah. But my question about naturalization is like, how would you make sure that this person will have 100% allegiance to the U.S. than his
I don't care.
main country?
I don't care
Okay.
if they have 100% allegiance. I care that they're here and they're working and they're contributing. If they come here and they're like, I'm going to work, and then they don't vote and they don't participate and they don't pay taxes, then it's like, yeah, then that's not something. I mean, like, it shouldn't be literally like so easy as you come across the border, you're a citizen now. I'm a little joking, but the process needs to be expedited. And obviously, you can expedite and look for these sort of factors like where they're working, what sector they're in, what their long term plans are. I think it needs to be a better system. Right now, it's far, far, far too slow. It's bureaucratic and it sucks. But yeah. I
Yeah.
don't
So
care if
I
they're like,
mostly
oh,
agree with
I
what
might
you
move
said.
back to my home country at some point. That's whatever. I don't care.
I mostly agree with what you said, but like, if it were up to me, if I have to select a system, I would select the same system that you just described, but with one more additional rule. I would like to ask anyone who wants to become a U.S. citizen to leave his first or renounce his main or his first.
Nope.
Sorry.
You cut out a little bit for me, but I see what you're saying. The only problem I have with that is, or it's not a problem. The only factor I would say is, so long as we don't have the opportunity for dual citizenship, and it's like, yeah, if you want to come over here and you want to do it quick, yeah, sure, then you have to give up all of the privileges that you have from your home country, and you have to come do it here. I agree with that. I think that's fine. But a lot of countries do have dual citizenship treaties because of their relationship with the U.S. So like Germany does, Israel does, and I'm fine with those people having both citizenships. I don't think there's a problem with that.
It was nice talking to you guys.
Yeah,
Have a
thanks
good
for
night.
coming up and being understanding.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. I think Corey Rosh wanted to push back. He decided I'm not brown nosing that. I don't know if he's in the queue, but I believe he is Muslim, so he might have something to say about what I was saying. There he is. All right, Rosh, you're finally allowed to disagree with me. What do you got?
Not disagree with you. I was gonna push back on the guy for his statements on Islam because I was
Okay.
like,
Well, since you're not
yeah,
disagreeing with me, make it quick and we can get a disagree on here.
yeah. So basically, my whole disagreement is that it's like so much time it gets quite irritating that people just fearmonger about Islam as though like Islam is like a whole monolith and it's like different sects of Islam and different strands of Islam. And because as we the younger generation, yeah, I can speak to that. We really recognize the problems of how people. Because I think also people seem to misunderstand Sharia law as well, because people think that Sharia law is just us just cutting off um, you know, hands and stone people. When it's
Yeah,
that's
yeah, it's all it goes all the way back to the 2016 fear mongering where it was like, Ben
yeah,
Shapiro's video where he's doing the Pew Research and it's like, oh, this percent of Muslims believe in Sharia law and jihad and that's the reason you saw like the Christchurch shooter like cite Ben Shapiro's video in his manifesto or not
hmm
was it Christchurch wherever he was in New Zealand and he went to those
yeah,
mosques. But
yeah,
yeah, and it's just like yeah,
yeah,
like the fear
yeah.
mongering
So
against Islam. The problem is balancing the fear mongering of Islam, which is insane and bigoted, with the fact that
yeah,
certain liberals are scared to
yeah,
appear that way and will be like, yes, I forgive the fact that you are like saying women shouldn't be allowed to, go to school. And it's like, no, you should be against this too. You should be against
yeah,
any sort of like religious
yeah,
dogma. And, religious practices, so long as they don't interfere with like everyone else's life. I don't really care. I think that's fine. People have their practices, and that's cool. But
yeah.
Real quick.
So just one last thing.
Real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was gonna say I'm probably one of the few Muslims I'm probably one of the few Muslims who's like, I don't mind people criticizing Islam because that's fine to me. Hell, they can even draw the Prophet Muhammad. I really don't care at all.
Yeah. Oh, so you're practicing Muslim?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Kind of. But I'm trying to reconnect with my faith because I've been feeling like I've been neglectful. But I won't try to, impose that stuff either religiously or anyone else because I don't believe
that's
in
the
that.
best kind of religious person there is.
Yep. That's
all right.
it. That's fine.
All right. Thank you, Rosh.
Thanks, Rosh. Appreciate it.
I'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
Corey, I don't know if this person is in TikTok, but they're in my YouTube chat. Oh, hi, Owen is saying they want to talk all about Stephen Bunnell and how we're justifying it. And I think I have a good answer. You already heard it, but if they want to come up and yell about it, you can bring them up here. I don't care.
Yeah, I had Trumpelstiltskin waiting.
Trumpelstiltskin sounds like a Trumper, but it's hard to say. Get Trumpelstiltskin up first.
Yeah, I'm looking for him now. For whatever reason, all of a sudden it disappeared. Hopefully he didn't go away. Trumpel, if you're in here, request back up.
Get him up here. Get that guy up here. Just when you think Trump has lost it, he did the Marjorie Taylor Brown, which was like horrible nickname. You really think
Marjorie
he can't do
Trader
it.
Brown, man, he's
Marjorie Trader Brown. Yeah, it's just awful. It does not roll off the tongue. Like, and then he did the Trump Republicans or Trumppublicans, like just awful. But then he did the Mamdani thing. He did the Mamdani thing where he's like, you could call me a fascist. It's okay. Just say yes. That was funny. So, he's waning. But he's still got it a little bit, just a little. He used to be gold every 10 seconds. Now it's gold every week.
Yeah, whatever.
Membership giveaway, should I? Oh, Ash, if you want to. Again, you already give me way too much. You literally made me invent a new Patreon tier. So I expect you not at all to donate more than you need or should. But if you want to give memberships to people, I don't know if you want to do it in the TikTok stream. That's almost like punishing. I guess it's like a relief, like, hey, thank you for coming to the TikTok stream. Sorry you're here, but do what you want, Ash. I don't want to. I feel weird giving you the thumbs up for spending money on me. It feels transactional. So you said that I think Christian beliefs are more harmful to America than Islamic ones, which is not at all the same thing as I think X problem is more of an issue in North America. I think you might be replying to someone, but yeah, I don't think that one belief is necessarily worse. I'm sure I could, if you compared, there's one that's worse in whichever religion. I think right now that Christians have disproportionate power and crazy theocrats are disproportionately Christian with power in the country right now. So the Muslim scaremongering is not really on my list of things I have to worry about at the moment. MAGA, on the other hand, they're all about they're eating cats, they're eating dogs. They're eating the pets. What's going on here? Okay. Oh, thank you, Ash. 5 memberships. Who got them? Jonah got one. Hell yeah, Jonah got one. Where's Trumpelstiltskin? Is he gone? Did he run away?
Yeah, I guess he disappeared.
Do we have to say his name backwards 3 times or whatever the frickin' riddle is? I don't know how that works.
I think it's something like that. Trumpelstiltskin. Come on, show up. Well,
okay, they're in a different.
Talk about our next tour stop. Remind anybody that's here.
Just so for those of you just joining and didn't hear at the beginning, next tour stop is Arizona, December 20th. If you want to see me debate live, you can literally buy tickets and see me and meet me, as some of my audience already has. And if you don't want to do that and you just want to support, the donation link is in there. That helps us with costs for sending people, for meals, for board. So any and all of that stuff. If you want to support, please go check that out. It's linked in the description. But it'd be cool to see some of you guys there, because then you guys all hype me up, in the chat. But when it's in real life, and you're like, oh, it feels so good. It's like being at a football game and you're like the quarterback. Is the soy pill vegan? No, but I should be. I promote veganism, but I don't practice it, and I'm going to get there eventually. In fact, I live with a vegetarian right now, so I'm already on the way. I'm going to start buying more tofu. Any thoughts on Graham Plattner? It's so early in the primary that he should drop out. I think if you've got a big tattoo of a Totenkopf on your chest, you should not be running for politics. Do you think Muslim fear-mongering is more valid in Europe? Fear-mongering, no. Worrying about Muslim immigrants putting Islamic doctrine into law, I think, is a valid concern, especially when you have massive waves of Muslim immigration. But I have yet to see it in a way that I'm like super worried about. I think the closest thing, and I'd have to do more research, is people say that there are like religious police in the same way there are in the UAE or Saudi Arabia in Muslim conclaves. Like, you know, if it was like imagine like in Little Italy, they had like the mob, like the Italian mob. There's like the adjacent to that, there's like the Islamic religious police in like little, I don't know, little Afghanistan or little Syria. I don't like that. I don't think that should exist. I don't think you should have a separate system of law. And I've heard they have like their own like potentially Sharia courts. The problem is the only people talking about this are the far right insane people. So I have yet to know how much of it is true. They lie all the time. They obfuscate. They blow statistics out of the water. But if any of it was true, I wouldn't agree with that. I don't want religion in politics. So, yeah. How does Gavin Newsom smell? I feel like that's the second time or third time someone's asked, and he smells fine. Anthony Torres, who is assumedly a man, says, have my children, unless you want to somehow invent gay biological procreation. Thank you for the $2. If you already have kids, I'll take them. Can't promise I won't sell them for organ money. How can you say you don't support Plattner, but you do support Destiny? Okay, hi, Owen. First of all, don't make me reply to you in chat. Come into the TikTok and talk to me. Second of all, I'm saying Destiny is not running for office. If he was running for office, I would say in the primary, do not vote for him because, like, this person is a huge liability and is not someone who I think is has the integrity of what a official politician should. But if it was the general, and I've said this for Plattner, if it was Plattner versus Susan Collins, I'm going to vote for Plattner. In the same way, like, I kind of came around to this. The Jay Jones guy, I really don't like his conduct. But once it's in the general election, it's like it's this or a MAGA judge who's going to like let Trump get away with some bullshit. Yeah, I'll vote for Jay Jones. Yeah, I'd vote for Plattner. Yeah, in the general, I'd vote for pretty much anyone over MAGA, assuming they're not as fascistic. But you know, you'd have to be really bad considering how low the bar is. We need male impregnation to be invented and fast. Yeah, that's it's on my top list of priorities right now is men getting pregnant. Guys, I'm silver lining of MAGA, overstepping their boundaries right now is that they're going on and, screaming at gay men for having, surrogate children or adopting a kid. And it's like, everyone sees this is like, oh my God, you're fucking unhinged. Like you look at this happy couple with their happy baby and your instant reaction is this is gross and should never happen. And I want to make it illegal. It's so nice that these idiots like just present themselves as the ghouls they are and make normal people go, oh, that sucks. That is a fair position to have for Plattner and male impregnation. Thank you. Do you think Charlie did well against Andrew Wilson? I haven't actually watched the whole debate, and I've actually seen some clips where I'm like, I don't think you did well. I've told her this already, but I'm like, oh, it looks like you just kind of like let him walk over you, or you were like unprepared for that point. But ultimately, none of that matters because any and all points that she didn't do well on, the one point that mattered was the one that goes viral, where she brings up the fact that his ideology is inconsistent and stupid, and he has a bitch baby meltdown. So she did amazing. Better than I ever could have hoped for. The interracial stuff is coming up again. Are you in an interracial marriage, Ash? I didn't know that. But I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I mean, if they do revisit Loving Virginia, which, who knows? I think they already disagreed to revisit Obergefell, thank God. But that was closer than I would have liked. What happened to YouTube? I just got 3 ads in a row and had to do age verification. Jesus Christ. That's so stupid. Your husband's black. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Sorry you're facing interracial problems. I think I had to deal with it. Someone being, I'm in an interracial relationship with an Asian person, and like this old Asian woman got really mad at me and her for like no reason, as far as we could tell. And I feel like it might have been racism, but I'm not sure. The Supreme Court can kiss my ass. Fair. I hope you have a good night, Elon is a hoe. Oh, I see. I thought you were Elon Nisaho, but you're Elon is a hoe. I enjoyed your Kirk video. It's what got me hooked. Thank you very much. And you know what? There's plenty more where that came from. It's the racism tingle in the back of your neck. Yeah, I'm like Spider-Man, but instead of being warned about early danger, I get racism tingles. It's not very helpful, but there we go. Unlucky. Unlucky. Get up here. Get unlucky up here. Request unlucky to come up. The people keep asking about this Destiny crap. Let's address it. Because Owen doesn't want to jump at the TikTok. So, what's up, unlucky? Be careful about certain words you use, but tell me your issues and I'll try to address them.
Yeah, of course. Well, first off, I'm a really big fan of you. I really enjoy your content. I probably watched all of your videos. I have no gripes with you personally. I used to be a fan of Destiny, admittedly, but he said some very sorry, my heart's racing, man. I honestly, it's really cool being able to talk to you.
No problem. I appreciate the support, and remember, and I always tell this, like I remember being in your shoes when like you talk to someone, you're like, oh my god, I'm just a guy. I'm sitting in a drab, a gross kind of messy apartment right now. I put on my pants 2 legs at a time, just like you. So take a deep breath and remember that I'm just like that idiot that you interacted with at a coffee shop, except also I make YouTube content. But go ahead.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I have no gripes with you. I don't have any gripes with like anybody, like not even his content, like not even his community. Really, it's just he's just said some like things on Twitter, man, that are just like super weird and not okay. I don't know if I'm allowed to say some of the things that he said. I don't know. I used to be a fan.
Well, depending on which one you have a problem with, I might not have a problem with it. Like, what's the one you're thinking of? Like, if I probably know most of them because, like, don't get me wrong, I was put onto Destiny back in 2016. My friend showed me some debate he had with the JonTron one because I used to watch JonTron, and I was like, oh, I like this, and I like a lot of his content. But I think there's a lot of conduct that he has had that is incredibly damaging to his reputation. Some stuff may be worse than others, depending on what happens with the court stuff. I don't endorse any of those personal actions. In fact, I strictly condemn them, especially the sex pestery. But here's the thing. I think, like I said, he's a good debater and I enjoy his rhetoric. And if that is still a positive and a moving message for people to break away from MAGA, or at least to make MAGA look dumb, I think that's a good thing. I think that doesn't mean you have to endorse any and all things that person's done. And if you want to say like, hey, why do you support this person's actions? You can say, I don't. It's as simple as that. I think it's very easy to distance yourself from someone's actions that way. Now, there are, of course, limits to this. Like, let's say, I don't think what he's done, as far as I know, is as bad as like what Chris Brown did. I think if Chris Brown was like some amazing orator, it's like, yeah, but I also don't want to work with a guy who beat the crap out of Rihanna, right? Like this guy's an awful misogynist woman beater. There are limits to this. So I guess it depends on what really happens in terms of his character. What is the worst things are proven. But insofar as I think he's done good things in this space, and I think he continues to do good things in this space, I don't think I need to necessarily say, yeah, I'm not going to go on this tour where he's a headliner, where we're fighting against the people who want to turn our country into fascistic dictatorship, because that's much worse right now. So you know what? We can have all the Destiny character debates when Kamala Harris runs for the second term and wins. You know, that's my view on it.
Yeah, okay. I think I'm picking up what you're laying down, one might say. Yeah, I think for me it was just the comments on Twitter that kind of deterred me, but I don't think he's necessarily like a negative like political figure. I do think that we need more people like Destiny, because he really does play ball for left wing, and he plays ball good. I've watched, like I said, I used to be a really big fan. His debates are really good. His debates are amazing, and I sometimes it is a guilty pleasure. I still watch them to this day. But yeah, it's just it's hard to separate, I guess, for like even just like the weird comments he's made. It's hard to separate the two, and I think that's kind of what made me stop being a fan.
What's the worst comment you can think of off the top of your head?
Well, off the top of my head, I'm sure there's a lot of examples, but the first one that comes to mind is the weird joke that he made on Twitter about a 10-year-old, seeing like pictures of a 10-year-old. A girl saying that she had like pictures of herself from when she was 10 years old, and
he was like, said, "Oh damn, can I see them? That sounds hot," or whatever.
Yeah, I think even like
that was, in my opinion, based on what I read of that, this was like everyone is accusing me of the worst. Let me just like make it look as bad as possible. In the same way, like I remember tweeting out there was some that one dipshit who came on here and wanted to talk to me about race realism, and I'm like, you know what, you got me, buddy. I am a race realist. I believe in IQ and inheritability. And did you know that Jews are actually the smartest of all the races, of which I am, and therefore you must concede to everything I say. Like it's like one of those like playing into the like what everyone's accusing you of or whatever dumb thing. That one is what I would say. I'd say of all the worst things that I've seen of him, it's usually of all the stuff that he does with women. Not a big fan of those interactions based on what I've heard. But, you know, some of those things you can control, some of those things you can't. If he's done anything illegal, I hope he faces the law. If he hasn't, I can just say, hey, this isn't how you should treat people and have relationships. So that's kind of where it stops and ends with me there. And as soon as it becomes a thing where, hey, this person might have power over other people, like if he was running for office, that's when we can say, yeah, this person probably shouldn't be in office. In the same way I disagree with Plattner, and we can fight that in the primary. But for now, like you said, good debates, good rhetoric. I'm fine with having that, especially when we're fighting MAGA. The bar so low that any and all personal issues, I think, are kind of sidelined for now.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like there isn't a whole lot to debate about when it comes to Destiny, because I feel like we kind of agree. I think the comments that he made on Twitter were a joke. Like, wholeheartedly, I think he was just messing around. But it's hard not to be detracted from that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I sympathize with the idea of like, I mean, you can go look. I made a post about AmFest and Unfuck America. Donation link, by the way, in the description. But I am going to say, you look at the comments there. A lot of people have problems with, the headliner Destiny on there and all the stuff that he's done. He is a liability in some ways because of his personal behavior, and it's not good. I don't think I'm going to influence any of that to change. But I also don't think that me just saying I refuse to fight against MAGA and one of these really good opportunities to fight against MAGA because one of the people involved in that is not good in outside of the political sphere. It's hard for me to say no to that. And if we do the kind of purity testing right now, I think that's kind of shooting ourselves in the foot. It's not the time to purity test for those kind of things. And right now, the line has not been crossed in the way that I think, oh, now I have to disassociate this completely. But I don't think anyone's concerns are misplaced.
I see. Well, I appreciate you bringing me up. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think we do need more content creators like Destiny. Regardless of if I am detracted from him or not, we do need him in the space a little bit more. But yeah, I've recommended you to all my friends. I love watching.
Thank you, man.
And I watch your streams. And
I really appreciate that.
I have asked. This is the second time that I've asked you if Gavin Newsom smells good. I'm just messing around.
Oh yeah, that was you. Yeah. I mean, it's a good question because everyone's like, is he really that handsome in person? The answer is yes. He's a very handsome man.
Yeah, I'm just messing around, but I do appreciate you bringing me up.
Thanks for coming up. Yeah, because Owen wouldn't. So I appreciate that you did. So thanks for coming up and voicing your concerns. And Owen, if you want to get into specifics, the court stuff is CSAM. Yeah, I've heard the allegations, but again, like, I don't know what's true, what's not. And if it is literally like, yes, I knowingly distributed child material, then yeah, that's pretty fucking awful. And he should disappear from public life. But I'm not quite sure that is the case, but we'll see.
Awesome, man. I'll talk to you hopefully another time if we have another opportunity to.
Well, this happens every week for the foreseeable future. So if you've got another disagreement, you're welcome to come up.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks,
thanks for the support. Awesome. Appreciate it, man.
To be honest, I'm not too experienced with TikTok. You might have to kick me. I'm not sure how to leave with
kick him. Get him out of here. Just close all apps on your phone. What is happening? I look back at YouTube chat and you're talking about Judea and Syria, Palestine. I have no idea what's going on in there. Sometimes, like, you know, chat is like super on point with what's being talked about, and sometimes they get like 6 levels deep into a completely adjacent debate, like personal feuds happening. By the way, guys, this is why I will never make a Discord. It's because I do not want there to be like a community within fighting. Like, the soy pill community exists only insofar as you exist in my chat. There will never be like a space for you all to like fester and have your own little drama and garbage, and it's gonna be like, oh, did you hear about the civil war happening in the... Fuck that. Absolutely not. It's not happening. I'm not letting you do it. I'm scraping the mold off the petri dish. As soon as I turn off live stream, you all disappear and go into your other little communities where you can fester and have your own little drama. But we love chat, don't we, folks? We love them so much. Opinion on trans people in women's sports. I don't know what I'm allowed to say on TikTok. I will say this. I think that the... Let's do it. I think the concerns of people like, hey, it's completely fair, like, just let it happen. I literally made a video on this, like, becoming the conservative straw man. I think Emma Vigland, who, you know, I like the Majority Report. I don't like the way she said it. I don't care about the science. Trans people get to participate, period, because she was just being very, you know, like, hey, this is the same thing with Islam. You know, there's a huge push against this community. How can we support them any way we can? I understand that, but I think the science does matter if you can see that this is kind of getting rid of the entire concept of why we have sex segregated sports, then we need to reassess, you know, who gets to participate in what. So people that are just like, oh, no trans people should participate, that's stupid. Because, you know, what about darts, right? Like, why the fuck should a trans woman not be able to be in the women's league for darts? That's stupid. But if you look at stuff where it's like, hey, you have a huge advantage based on your bone structure and the male puberty you went through, maybe that needs to be reconsidered. It's hard, and I don't have the answer to say, well, just because the sex segregation doesn't make sense, therefore trans people can't participate. I don't like that. I want them to have their own, you know, goals and ambitions. But it sucks because it's like, okay, well, you can't make their own category because then you're like segregating them, and I don't like that. You can't force them into the thing that gives them gender dysphoria. I don't like that. So I think there are certain sports where if there is a prevalent enough amount of trans people, you could reassess, you know, why these leagues were created, what classifications we put people in, and then maybe make, like, you know, weight classes depending on what sport it is, or maybe it's like muscle size or testosterone levels, whatever it is, and say, okay, now it's not sex segregated. Now it's, you know, this new classification, and inevitably you're going to have peaks with biological men at the top and biological women at the bottom, but then everyone gets to play. It's co-ed, and you don't really have to worry about, you know, not including trans people. But the idea that, like, there is no concern whatsoever with, you know, people who have gone through male puberty participating in women's sports, I think is a little silly. I think there's something there, but I've seen papers that show, hey, the difference is negligible in this sport, and I've seen papers that say the difference is still very big after years of hormones. So it depends. Yeah, that's my opinion. But the real opinion is that women's sports are boring, just like every other sport, but especially women's sports. So just don't watch them, and you don't have to worry about who's participating in them. Sarcasm, I'm not sexist. Yeah, that's the other thing, is the people that are going to complain the most are people that genuinely don't give a shit about women's sports. So... That's true, Ash. Doping and steroids is absolutely going to be a bigger issue than trans women in sports, just because of how many more people dope. I would allow sports like darts and chess to be unisex. I don't think chess should be unisex because I don't want to lose to a girl. Dan, you really just don't care about the allegations? Blink twice if you need to chase, if you just need to chase the bag. First of all, I'm not getting paid to say this. I wish I was getting paid. But Destiny doesn't give me money, and UFA, actually UFA did pay for my trip to Colorado. But for the most part, I'm not on a payroll. I am saying my true and honest opinions. I do care about the allegations. If the allegations are true insofar as he knowingly distributed in a bad way, you know, maliciously, some sort of child, what is it, CSAM or whatever? Yeah. That's awful. And if that becomes out and is proven, I do think this person should not exist in this space whatsoever. That's kind of something you can't come back from. I don't know if that's the case. And based on what I've seen, I don't think it is, but we'll see. Ban all screens and sports. Fluffy Man coming out with the free Epstein. I hate to break it to you, buddy, but he is not alive. As if you can spread CP unmaliciously. Okay, so Agent Orange, I'm about to say something that is going to get clipped. I think in high school someone sent me a nude, and I think they sent it in the email. And I don't know if I ever deleted that. So technically, if like Google that account, that like email from like 6 years ago that I haven't touched, not 6, oh my God, 6 years ago, 20 years ago, 20 years, 14 years, 15 years ago that I haven't touched, I might be in possession of CSAM technically. I'm not maliciously spreading it. I'm not maliciously holding on to it. It just exists in an account that I don't have access to that is under my name that was shared by a child when I was a child. That is unmalicious possession of CSAM. It's possible. There's other things in there, but I don't know what the fuck the legality of that is. And I can't even access it, so I don't even actually have it in my possession. But that's what I'm saying. This might age badly. Hey, if it takes me down, it takes me down. I don't even have access to that email anymore, so I can't even go in and find it and then delete it once I found it. So, and also, yes, raise your hand if you're on Epstein's list. The hackers are going to have a field day. Look, I'll worry about it once the hackers find all the accounts for shit. And they haven't even found like my Reddit and my like site, which will not be named accounts. So I'm a little less worried about that right now. Opinions on Chuck Schumer. He can't even get his coalition on board, so he needs to step the fuck down. Everything Soy says is comedic and alleged. My guy, please put down the shovel. Were you there on January 6th? No, I wish I was. I want to interview people. All right. I don't know if you have to go, Corey. Do we have anyone else in queue? One more person? What does Soy know about Bubba?
Man, it's nothing.
All right.
Wimps.
Well, if no one tries to yell at me in the next 60 seconds, just grab a random person. Have I ever interacted with Vosh? Yeah, actually. I went in this 200,000 subscriber video. I don't know if you can go back and find that, but I asked him why he kept calling Steven Crowder subhuman and saying that mass shooters should show up to Steven Crowder events. I'm like, yeah, that's dangerous rhetoric, buddy. I think that's the last time I talked to him, though. Dylan Burns, common W for January 6th. Was Dylan Burns a J6? That's cool. You couldn't waterboard that out of me, but appreciate the commitment to giving an example. First of all, hi, Aaron. Second of all, how can you say that when you disclosed something that apparently you don't disclose to most people to me after knowing me for 2 hours because you're, I don't know, stupid, impulsive? So, yeah, like pot, kettle, black. Did he show you his horse folder? He did not.
Ethan,
all right.
What's up, brother?
Oh, Ethan, what's up, buddy? All right, I don't see any debaters. Last person, you want to get a sycophant in here to just say hi and ask a random question?
Any sycophants want to jump up?
Aaron, I know what you told me isn't a felony. That's what I'm saying. I don't even know if what I have. Having someone send you a nude and you're in high school and it technically not being deleted 20 years later on an account you don't have access to, I don't think that's a felony, is it? Well, if it is, I'll find out soon because I just said it on a live stream. All right, who's up here? What's up, Jack?
Hey, what's the Unf America tour?
Unfuck America Tour is a collaborative effort from multiple streamers and content creators in the anti-MAGA space to come together and debate and counter the MAGA narrative, also by following around the TPUSA event. Their kind of ethos was to get more people to register so they can vote anti-MAGA, and also to kind of replace the stand-in college unprepared rhetorically people who get taken advantage of by the Charlie Kirks of the world and say, hey, we actually know how to debate and we know all your stupid little tricks and we're going to go and we're going to stop you from doing that by having better words. That's Unfuck America.
I just thought it was like a failed thing that just failed and dropped on its face as soon as it started. And I'm pretty sure.
I mean, we're still going.
Sadly
I mean,
mistaken.
this is the first time I've ever seen it, and you got 20 viewers on, so it must not be going that well.
Well, I think it's going pretty well. We're doing what we wanted to do. We're registering
should probably
people.
find a
We
better
might have
job.
even actually flipped the what was it like? Which election? What was it, Corey? Where it was
Virginia
like flipped by like the Virginia. We may not be helpful and responsible for the Virginia election. So no, I think we're doing a good job.
Did you guys win the presidency?
We didn't exist when the presidential election happened.
Did
so,
you?
No, we didn't.
You didn't exist when the presidential election happened? I'm pretty sure
Corey,
the NF
correct me if
America
I'm
tour
wrong.
failed.
Did UFA
No,
come
we
out
did not.
before
We started
November?
in
Yes,
February
they
of
did. Yes, they
2025.
did, because
No,
they
we
were
did not.
following around Charlie Kirk before the election happened.
Nope. That's
Yes,
not
they
true.
were. Don't try to lie. Don't try to lie.
I mean,
Don't try to lie.
before the
We're
election.
part of the tour, so I feel like we would know.
It was definitely before the election, because I remember it failed as soon as it started.
Okay. Thanks, Jack.
which
Killing it.
election are you talking about, Jack?
This past
talking about-
election.
You mean the one that just happened, like in November?
Last November, yes.
I'm pretty sure UFA wasn't a thing then.
Yeah, 100% it was.
Okay, well,
Thanks.
agree to
Thanks for
disagree
letting
on the
us know
facts,
you live in
buddy.
another
got
world.
Yeah,
I mean,
any other,
you guys
trolly
think that your
comments?
business is going good, and you really, honestly, it's really not. I mean, I don't know. I didn't even know it was still a thing. Are you guys like trying to like scrap off of Dean and Parker's like remnants or something? Like,
I mean, I wouldn't expect somebody with a following like yours to know who we are anyway, so it's okay.
I mean, my following is probably like nothing, but still, like your following is pretty much nothing. I'm not a content creator, so I don't imagine my following would be that great.
I can't imagine why you don't have a big following.
I don't get on here to get followers, buddy. I have
Yeah,
probably
you
about,
come
like,
up here.
200
You come up here to just ignore everything I'm saying
I
and be like, "You're
pretty much have like 200
Why are you here
requests in
when
my
you're
inbox,
dumb?"
but I definitely don't let people follow me.
Yeah, bots don't count. Anything substantive to say, or are you just going to be like, "Hey, you're stupid"?
Yeah. What do you have to say about the fact that illegal immigration was a huge problem under Biden?
Hey, you know what? Maybe we could agree here. I do think that the remain in Mexico policy and the way that Biden kind of handled it was a little poor. I think he could have done a better job. And I think that backlash on illegal immigration is what caused so many people to vote for Trump, because Trump was able to capitalize on that, what I would call pretty minor failure. Wasn't a big issue. But able
You don't
to
think
capitalize
that
off
10 million
and
people coming
wait,
into
can
the
you let me
country
finish, buddy?
illegally?
Can you let me finish?
You're just rambling about something that's not the point. Like 10 million people coming through the border wasn't a result of the Remain in Mexico policy. It was a result of Biden's open border policy, which
What do you
wasn't signed
think an
by
open
10
border
but wasn't
policy
forced.
is?
Open border policy is when you ignore all policies and procedures due with in regards to any kind of immigration entering the U.S., any kind of
Are you
asylum
talking about the
claimers.
asylum process?
Okay, so all the people that came through the border definitely were not seeking asylum. Not only that, but
What do you mean they weren't? Like, all right,
Well, I
did they
can give
claim
you-
to
I
be
can
and
give
they
you
were
active- I
registered
can-
as them, or?
I can give you active examples like of physical people that were not asylum seekers that made it through the border under Biden.
Well, the problem is that if you are an asylum seeker and you follow the criteria to be an asylum seeker, even if you're lying about it, if we let you in because you have shown to a judge and claimed and proven insofar as the criteria to be an asylum seeker, then you are one. And that was a majority of the people coming through the border, which is not an open border.
Which is the Biden's open border policy, and most of those people were not claiming asylum. Most of those people were coming into the country just to come into the country. What were
I'm
they
pretty sure a
seeking
majority of
asylum
them
from?
were claiming asylum.
What were they seeking asylum from?
You'd have to look at each of their individual claims. I think
Okay,
most
so
of them
what-
are
you're
like
making the claim
terrorism
that-
and or gang violence.
Okay, so just because your country's messed up, that doesn't give you a right to claim asylum into the United States of America.
That's actually kind of exactly what
No,
asylum claims
just
are.
because you have gang problems in your country, we have gang problems here. So why can't we claim asylum somewhere else?
Because, well, first of all, we can, depending on how bad the gang violence is. But like,
Absolutely
literally,
not.
if you're
Nobody's
facing,
going to sit there and say like, "Oh yeah, you have such a gang problem in America," but even though we do, that we're going to go to another country because that's just ridiculous.
if you
know,
can, literally the case, if you can show like, hey, not only in my town, but these people have promised to follow me around and threaten me, and I'm not sure there's anywhere I can escape within the borders of my country. Yeah, I could go claim asylum in Germany. Like, that's literally how it works.
that's not how it works. You
I
actually
promise you it is. You can go look
You
this
would
up.
literally have to show proof, and not only that, but it would have to be extreme. And most asylum seekers are coming from.
Do you know that's like literally what
war-torn
Kilmar
countries.
Abrego Garcia did?
Are you really going to bring up the woman beater?
Yeah.
Someone who literally beat his wife, someone that not only once but twice, and then not only that, but was also validated as a gang member, and not only that.
Do you
but
think? Do you think that beating your wife makes gang violence disappear?
No, I think that beating your wife is just a horrible thing. Period, and you shouldn't be
Well, we
advocating
agree,
for
buddy.
people
Right.
that do that. You shouldn't be
Advocating
taking
for
sides
them?
on. You shouldn't be taking sides with people that do that. Period. Like those people.
Do you think
honestly,
I'm on this? Do you think I'm on the side? I'm pro beating women. Like, do you
I
genuinely believe I
honestly
support
believe
wife
that, like,
beating?
if Abrego Garcia is your best, and not only that, but he was in this country illegally. He wasn't claiming asylum. He was a gang member in a
He
war
was
with
literally
another gang
claiming.
member.
He was literally claiming asylum
From
and
what?
protection
From another
the
gang?
from El Salvadoran gangs. Yeah.
Okay, but he was also a gang member, all right? And then
Okay.
not only that, but he was at war with another gang. That doesn't give you the right to claim asylum.
What do you think? First of all, it literally got approved, so it does. But second
It
of
didn't
all,
get
what do you
approved.
think? What do you?
His asylum
it,
didn't
it
get-
literally did.
Because he lied the fact that he wasn't a gang member until he was
He got a
validated.
stay. He got a stay of what I forgot
No.
what the word is. Like the reason he couldn't
He
be
couldn't
deported
get- he
back to El
couldn't get
Salvador
deported back
was
to El
because a
Salvador, not that
judge
he couldn't get
saw-
deported.
Right. That's fine. I agree with
So
this. By the way,
his asylum claim
hold on,
wasn't
let me finish, buddy.
validated.
Hold on. Let me finish. He literally had a stay of leave or stay of deportation or whatever it's called because he was able to prove to a judge that my life would be in significant danger if I were to specifically go back to El Salvador. So yes, that is a claim that has the validity of. I showed this to a legal expert, and the legal expert said, "Yeah, you're allowed to not be deported to El Salvador."
Not only did he lie on that, because so if I go to a country, right, and or say if I'm in America, and if I am in a gang, right, if I'm in the Italian mafia and I start something with the Irish mafia, and I'm already in a gang, and this gang is a result of my own actions and my own affiliations with my gang, that's not an asylum claim. That you put yourself in that predicament. This isn't Castro and Cuba sitting here being a communist dictator.
I think
this
there
is
are
a result
different,
of your own
I think
actions.
there are different levels of asylum, and I'm not actually unsure that you can't claim asylum just because you were in a gang and a different gang's going to murder you. If you know that you can say that's your opinion, but if the legal system says if you are not going to be protected by the law and you want to claim asylum in a different country, because the current country you're in is not going to protect your life, that's a valid asylum claim.
Where's Abrego Garcia right now?
They re-deported them, right?
Yeah, where'd he go?
Was it El Salvador?
No, he got sent to Africa.
Is that really where they sent him? Okay.
They sent him to Africa.
Yeah. He was legally allowed to be deported.
You guys, you guys probably should have just kept your mouth shut and let him go to El Salvador. He probably would have stood a better chance.
They literally
Now
put
he
him
has
in
to
like a
cross an
slave
ocean.
torture prison, and
A slave torture prison? So gang members that commit all kinds of atrocities, like drug wars, they commit violence, they commit sexual violence against people. You don't think that those people should be locked up and have slave labor put to them? Because it's legal in our country.
I think they should be locked up. I don't think they should have slave labor put to them.
I mean, that's legal in our country.
I don't think it should be.
Well, I mean, it is. So are you against
I
the
don't think it should
Constitution
be.
of the United States?
Well, I think it's kind of unconstitutional, arguably based on the Eighth Amendment, but people say otherwise and like to take the rights away from people who have been incarcerated, and I don't think that should be the case because it's cruel and unusual punishment.
If you get incarcerated and you get convicted of a crime, you took your own rights away by committing that crime.
Do you think we should be able to do whatever we want to someone if they're in jail or prison?
Do whatever we want? No.
Yeah, whatever we want.
Cruel and
why
unusual
not?
punishment is illegal.
Wait, you said based on the Eighth Amendment, right? But you said they got their rights taken away when they committed the crime, right?
No, you still should be punished, but cruel and unusual punishment is illegal. That you
Do you
shouldn't
think
be
do you think slave labor is cruel and unusual punishment?
No.
Okay,
That's
then we
not-
just
that's not-
disagree
that's
on
not
what is
cruel
cruel
and
and
unusual
unusual.
punishment.
I think
Cruel and
it's cruel.
unusual punishment would be like making them walk around naked. Cruel and unusual punishment would be
Okay, well,
like
they did
sitting
that
there.
in El Salvador prison, by the way. So
That's
one
in
thing
a
I think-
different country.
Okay, well, are you
They don't
basing your
oppose-
morals?
they don't-
Are you basing your morals on the law, or are you basing your morals on what you think should happen?
What do you mean?
Okay, do you think
You're
that America?
flopping from
do you
Venezuela
think,
to America.
Listen, well, Okay, in El Salvador, first of all. Second of all, you said you're
I'm
okay
not from El
with them.
Salvador, so I don't care about
I'm
what
not
they do
asking.
there.
I'm not asking you about whether or not you're from El Salvador. I'm saying, are you okay with them stripping people naked and walking them around and doing
It
weird
doesn't matter
punishments
if
to them?
I'm okay with it because it's not my
It
country.
kind
I
of
don't have to
matters
deal with it.
because my country, the country that you live in, is sending people there illegally. So I would have a
Illegally?
problem with the fact that
Because
they're
I'm
doing
pretty
that.
sure I'm pretty sure they sent them there and it was legal. None of them have been sent.
I'm sorry.
except
Did you
Abrego.
not concede 10 or 20 minutes ago that he was not allowed to be sent to El Salvador, and they would know this if they gave him due process, and they would have sent him to Africa or whatever, and so they illegally sent him there, right?
So first off, your claim was presented on the fact that he lied in court saying he wasn't a gang member. And then the second
You can
thing was,
you can say that
what
that's
did Trump-
the
what
case,
did-
but it
what
doesn't
did- what-
matter because right now he had a stay that said he could not be deported there. Now,
Okay,
if you want
and
to go
then-
and reevaluate that,
Not-
and through that reevaluation, which is part of the due process, say actually you lied and we can send you to El Salvador, then you can go ahead and do that. But he was illegally sent there, and regardless
Okay.
of whether or not it was legal, we can also say, hey, you should worry about what they're doing there because we are sending people there. It does
not
matter.
only that, but he Trump also marked the gang that he was specifically in as a terrorist group. Right.
Okay.
So that doesn't mean that you get to go through our court system and receive the same due
It
process as
literally
everybody.
does.
No, terrorists
does.
don't receive the same due process.
They should, and there's a reason why.
Okay,
Because
so-
what if
so-
I,
so
wait,
if-
Jack, listen
No,
to me,
no,
Jack.
no, no,
What if
no,
I
so
say,
you
no,
just-
Jack, listen, this
You
is
just
real
said that.
quick.
I want to make
Jack,
an argument.
Jack,
I don't want to.
you
I don't
can.
want
Let
you
me say
to
this. You can. Let me just say this one thing. Right now, I'm accusing you of being a member of Trende or Agua. Okay. How do I know you're not?
Because I'm never validated. I've never been validated as it. Unlike Abrego
okay.
Garcia.
How did they validate him?
Well, first off, the cops and the gang unit is a police officer in a gang unit was the one that validated him. Not only
How did they do that?
Well, one was an actual raid that they went to where Abrego Garcia was at. The second time he was validated was from a third party, and then not only that, but somebody, an informant.
So what you're describing right
him.
now, that's due process. That's part of that validation. So that's part of the reason you need to be able to have some sort of process to assure that you've committed the crimes you're being accused of.
Okay, so he did get due process then.
Well, before he got some due process, he did not get the due process that is deserved to people that we are putting through the immigration system. So no.
So the fact that he was in a gang, right, that he said he wasn't a part of, and then they found out later that he was in that gang, and not only that, but your claim is total nonsense. So if a group of ISIS or Al Qaeda or whatever just rowed a boat up to our shores, do you think that we would just give them due process, or do you think that we would take them out if they came here with guns ablazing, ready to just rock and roll and do whatever they wanted to do here? Do you think we would take them out?
If
or
we
do you
were being
think we would-
attacked by a foreign terrorist entity and we had to fight back, of course we would kill them. But if they came and then we had them in the country and then they claimed some things, maybe they lied and
But I
they were
thought you said
here,
everybody gets due process.
we had to determine, hey, did this person lie? Is this order still legal? There would be some sort of process that they are due to figure out if that's the case. So no, Kelmar Abrego Garcia did not run into the country firing a gun into the air or at people. And if he did, then yeah,
how do you
I would
think they
assume
found
that-
him? How do you think they found Abrego?
How did they find him? What do you mean?
How did they have the resources to find Abrego Garcia?
What do you mean find? I'm a little confused by your question.
So the fact is when Trump was first doing this, right, and the deportations were originally going on, he was a marked, validated gang member. That is why they found him so fast. That is why they were trying to get him out the country so fast. He had that process that was done already. So the mere fact that...
So you're saying they had the process. Do you think they ignored the order that said they're not allowed to deport him to El Salvador? Or do you think they didn't see it because they didn't give them the process to see that he did indeed have that order that said he couldn't be deported to El Salvador?
I think that when you're sitting here and you're bringing 10 million people into this country and you have one hiccup, that's a pretty good thing. And not only that, but he was actually supposed to.
That's not the one hiccup. There's been a lot more. And two, no, it's not okay to say, because this is what could have happened, right? If we accused them and said, hey, you did this wrong. It doesn't matter what this person is. If you did all these bad things, you are violating the law. You are not giving due process to people the way you should. And you might be sending people on accident, which they've done multiple times, to this torture prison in El Salvador. All they would have to do is say, oh, you're right. Let's reevaluate this. Turns out we violated this order. We can undo this order, and then we can go send them wherever the fuck we want. But instead, they tripled down, and only through the pressure of people fighting for the actual rights of people were we able to actually, put the situation back to where it needs to be. And now he's deported to Africa, as you claimed. I think that's, if that's true, for sure, that's what was supposed to happen. But the problem is the administration is ignoring legal orders and ignoring the legal process because they don't give a fuck. So sure, we can put bad people wherever they need to go. But if you're saying, oh, well, this is one little hiccup, this isn't a hiccup. This is a systemic problem with the administration ignoring
It is not
legal
a systemic
systems.
problem. You're out of your mind if you're sitting here saying that, and it's just like all you're doing is just grifting for a side that caused the problem.
I'm super not grifting.
And
do you think that
now,
Trump is ignoring judges?
I think he should ignore judges, especially these lower district court judges that don't mean
regardless
anything.
of whether wait. Regardless of whether or not you think it's justified, you just admitted that there's a systemic problem with ignoring the legal system.
So district court judges, which is ruled upon by the Supreme Court, don't get to override the president. So not only
first of all, certain cases they do, although the Supreme Court said that what's her name doesn't have to.
Let me finish talking. So not only is the president the one that actually enforces and comes up with new policies for the immigration, and not only that, but he appoints the immigration judges in this country with a specific agenda, right? So if these immigration
so if those judges disagree with him,
they obviously won't. They obviously won't.
Some of them have. Trump-appointed judges have gone against his agenda. Is that okay, or should he ignore them?
Name one.
I don't know their names. I don't memorize the name of judges that have gone against Trump's agenda. But you can look at Trump-appointed judges. You can look up the most recent. An example. The most recent one that I can think of was the Texas redistricting one. That's not an immigration judge, but a Trump-appointed judge declared that the redistricting was not legal.
But in fact was, right?
No, it might be reevaluated or appealed, but as of now, the
Supreme Court said that they can go ahead with it.
Is that post the recent 3 or 4 days ago decision?
They said that they can continue on with the redistricting. They said that the lower court judge, because they're going to review it, but the lower court judge, they
okay, sure. And part of the legal process is the Supreme Court is allowed to reevaluate that. But the Trump-appointed judge went against his agenda, is what I'm claiming.
And then not only that, but when you look at the fact that there is actual laws in our country about coming into this country illegally. Actual laws in our country about coming into this country illegally. Actual laws in our country about coming into this country illegally. Actual laws in our country about coming into this country illegally. Actual laws in our country about coming into this country illegally. Actual laws in our country about coming into this country illegally. This is justified. Do you think everything's 100%? They get everything right 100% of the time?
No.
Okay. Do you think that any government agency ever gets things done 100% of the time right?
Probably not, no.
Okay, so you're looking at most extreme cases, and you're sitting here saying that Trump's some kind of fascist dictator because he's sitting here and he's doing exactly what the American people voted for. The immigration has been a huge problem into this country. Not only are immigrants.
Before you get into that, so your claim is that, there are extreme cases of him failing to do the job correctly, but these are edge cases, right?
No, he has a very, very high successful rate of deportations that go smoothly.
Okay, your answer should be yes. You're agreeing with what I just said was your position, which is that most of the cases are good, right?
100% they are.
Okay, so my issue is not necessarily that a majority of these cases are necessarily bad, because I don't know the number off the top of my head. There might be more valid deportations than not. I have to go look at the data again. However, the fact that they are trying to administer quotas and struggling to find a number of people to deport, I think is an indication that they're mostly not what I would consider justified deportations. But regardless, the problem is that on the edge cases, this is the crux of my argument. The problem is that the edge case itself, the way that it's being handled is bad. It's not just, oh, this is an edge case, we fixed it, most of these are fine. That's an edge case, and you know what? We don't care. We're tripling down. It's totally fine to violate due process. I don't give a fuck because they did something I don't like. That's the issue, Jack.
Okay, so with the First Amendment, for example, is that absolute or is there limitations on it?
There are limitations on it.
Okay, so why wouldn't there be limitations to any other constitutional right?
I didn't say there weren't.
Okay, so in this and when do you think those limitations get met? Like when do you think they look at these limitations like the Supreme Court and they actually make decisions on like what the limitations are?
When do I'm confused with what your question is. Also, there was a big loud noise and your audio cut out. So what is your question one more time?
So basically, what I'm questioning is due process, right? So when we think about due process,
Yeah.
and we think about when we like, for example, the First Amendment, right? You can't go into a theater and yell fire, right? Unless there's
Okay, yeah.
an actual fire, right? Because then you
Yep.
could be held criminally
Yeah,
liable for causing.
Yeah, you're causing incitement. You're causing panic. Yeah, sure.
Right. So and also the Second Amendment is also says shall not infringe, but we also agree that the Supreme Court has placed limitations on what is considered
An acceptable firearm, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So why wouldn't that be the case in certain cases, right? Like example, all these cases were extreme cases, like the First Amendment. You going into a building yelling fire when there's no fire, that's obviously an extreme case. So when we're sitting here thinking about the position that the Biden administration left us in, right, leaving us in such a drastic place where we have to get so many people out so fast because they're doing so much damage to the economy, to the housing market, to just to the U.S. period, that there wouldn't be limitations that would be challenged in the court. And I think that's what we're going through right now.
It sounds like what you're saying is you're willing to make exceptions to the Constitution based on the drastic situation, which I don't even necessarily disagree with. Like, for example, the lockdowns could be considered certain constitutional violations, but I think that was a drastic, pandemic situation. So the principle that you're saying, I don't necessarily disagree with. I reject the premise that the immigration, asylum, whatever, open border problem you want to call it during the Biden administration was so drastic that it has fucked our economy and housing market. I think this is not supported by the data whatsoever. You think that the illegal immigrants are ruining the housing market?
I think that they're ruining mainly the economy.
In what way?
Just because of there was a proposal put up. It was the cost of illegal immigration, and it was, I think it was presented in the House, and it actually gave a detailed amount that we actually spend every single year on illegal immigrants.
Do you remember how much that was?
It was around 150 billion, and that was including like the actual taking out of what they actually pay into taxes. So they pay around $31 billion a year in taxes, but we actually spend
do you realize how insignificant to the economy $150 billion is?
I don't know about you, but that's a lot of money.
For me and you, it is. For the government, that's a very small amount of money. I don't know what percentage of our total budget. What's our total budget? Someone in chat help me out here, but that's like a very, very small amount of money. Let me look it up.
That's $150 billion a year.
Yeah, I understand that.
So how much was that in 4 years? How much was that in 4 years?
Let me just, I don't know how good you are with numbers. 150 billion is like less. We spend $7 trillion a year, and to claim that $150 billion spent on illegal immigrants is the reason our economy is failing is like just insane. Like, it's not even close.
Well, that's every single year. And then not only that, but
yeah, 7 trillion every single year. 150 billion out of 7 trillion is not the reason the economy is bad. It's just not even close.
That's one of the reasons. It's a multiple contributing factors, right?
I promise you, it's not even like a fraction of the reason why the economy isn't doing
so
well.
Why is the economy in ruins? Because we spend more than we make, right? So if we're spending money that we don't need to be spending, 100%.
Spending more than you make is not the reason the economy is bad.
What causes inflation?
A lot of different things.
100%.
What causes inflation? You think?
Inflation is literally us spending money that we do not have.
No,
it's bringing the value of
inflation. No, I'm not an economic expert, but you don't even. Do you think inflation is bad?
Huh?
Just, do you think inflation is bad? Period.
Yes, of course it is.
Why do you think the Federal Reserve targets 3% inflation every year?
Because they're idiots.
Okay. What do you think deflation
Listen,
is
you're not
good?
going to make an argument that the federal government knows what's best for the economy, especially all these supposed economists.
I trust Jerome Powell much more than
in
you,
debt.
because you seem to not even understand how inflation. Do you think that deflation is good?
Even though these experts, quote unquote,
Answer my
right?
question, please.
Hold
Do
on,
you
even
think
though-
deflation is good?
I'm gonna get there. Even though these quote
Okay.
unquote experts are sitting here saying that, oh yeah, we know what's exactly good for this country, but we're $39 trillion in debt. They don't know what they're talking about.
But I mean, I can't even get into like the debt and why it doesn't matter and how most of that money is owed to the American people and not like foreign
The
countries.
debt
But
doesn't
again,
matter.
not really. No, it literally doesn't. Most countries are in debt. I think actually every country is in debt. What the debt actually is and what it means to spending is much less of a factor of what we actually spend all that money on. But regardless, I have to go into a deep dive one more time. Do you think deflation is good?
Yes,
Why?
because you have more power in your dollar.
So I want you to go look this up. The reason why we have target inflation at 3% is because if there was deflation, we would go into recession because everyone would not invest their money. Because why would you ever put your money into any investment if it is more profitable for you to sit on it and do nothing?
Well, first off, you're assuming that everybody's smart with their money. Not everybody's smart with their money. And then secondly, you're sitting here and you're going off.
The economy only works the way it does because most people are trying to make the best profitable investment, and most people won't spend money if they know their dollar is going to be worth more the next day if they hold on to it.
That is not true. That is not true.
This is literally how deflation works. Please go look it up.
Okay, so real quick,
Please, this is like basic. Like I'm a fucking economic idiot, and I know this. Like I want you to go talk to go to Non-Fon 420. He's like an economic whiz, and he will just make you sound even stupider than you seem right now.
Just to disprove this real quick. So, okay, so do you absolutely need an iPhone? Like, does your life depend on it?
I hate Apple, but a lot of people's lives depend on whether or not they have access to a
Their
smartphone.
actual lives depend on it. Their actual lives depend on it.
Certain jobs and communication. Yeah,
right?
I would say it's almost
you put
like
out,
having a smartphone or some sort of phone is almost like necessary right now. But I see what you're saying. Is it necessary to, let's say, to have a TV? No, it's not.
Okay, so the fact that you want things will get you to buy things, right? If things are enticing, if you have money and your money has value to it, you can buy more things, right? So if you want something, you can buy more of it. You can buy more things, nicer things.
Yes, what you're
right?
describing is individuals consuming products. What I'm telling you is that a lot of money, most money in this country is based on investment. And if there's deflation, right, like your money is worth more every day that you hold on to it, most people won't invest in businesses. They won't start new businesses that will make them a profit to get their money out of banks.
How would anybody buy a car then? How would anybody, like, why would anybody invest in making cars?
What
right?
you're describing is the inevitable. What you're
things.
describing is the inevitable. What's going to happen if more people do this? Yeah, industries start to shut down, and you go into a recession because no one is investing in making new industry.
What's the point of having money if you don't spend it?
I'm not saying no one would spend any money. I'm describing to you
so
that
they would be investing, right?
Invest massively. No. People will still buy food. People will still buy cars. But why would you? Okay, I'm a business. I'm going to make this so clear.
Would people still? Okay, so no. Would people
Jack,
still invest?
Listen to my example and tell me. Listen to my example.
Would people still invest if you had to buy food? Would people still invest if you had to buy cars?
Please listen to me. Okay.
Your argument's really not making any sense.
I know. I'm going to try to dumb it down for you. Okay. I've got $100,000. Understand? Are you with me? I've got $100,000. Do you understand? I have $100,000.
Yeah.
Okay. Some guy comes up and he says, I'm John Carr and I want to make a big car company. And if you give me $100,000 or of your money to invest, I will give you 10% return next year. Okay. You with me so far?
Okay.
Okay. And then I go and I look at the Federal Reserve and they report that deflation is currently at 11%. Which of those things am I going to do with my money? Am I going to sit on it or am I going to put it into this company where I'll get 10% return?
Okay. So if you sit into that company, right? With it being with deflation being at 11%, if you get a return investment, do you not make more money? And then do you not get even more money back if it's sitting in there? If you had an extra $100,000, would it not make more money?
No, because if I hold on to it, I'll get 11% return. And if I put it into the company, I don't have money anymore. I have stock. and then I'll get 10% of whatever that company's stock is worth. So the
what if
numbers
that
are going
company
to be
does
a little
good?
different here.
What if that company does good? What if that company does good? What if you cash out? What if you sell your stock?
Why
would
I
money?
even risk the company doing good or bad if I know that my money will guaranteed give me 11% return by doing nothing with it?
You're putting me in a scenario. You're asking me, right? So like, if I'm sitting here, right, and I have $100,000, right, and I'm not doing anything with it, and some guy's like, hey, if you invest in me, I can show you where I'm going to make a profit. I'm going to make that profit. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to sit on even more profit. If it's still at 11%, I'm making even more money.
But you're not
What's
making
11%?
more money because
What's 11%?
deflation is higher than the rate of return he's promising you. So it makes no sense for you to get less money by investing in his company if you're guaranteed to do more money by doing nothing with your money, and then you can spend it on your cars and your food and all that and have more worth, right?
Not unless you have more money to get there and have more. Okay, so
I'm describing to you. This is basic economics. Okay, I can't explain this to you. I really can't. This is hard. I understand this is hard for you to understand.
It's not because you're not making any sense, dude.
Okay, I understand. Look, and that's
So
maybe that's a failing
if I
on
got,
me.
if I got,
I'm used to talking to people who have at least a basic economic understanding. So just look.
This is why economic people are so dumb. Like, it's so dumb. It's so dumb.
It's economics. They're the ones who are stupid. But
I mean,
I promise
and
you,
obviously
literally just go
stupid.
on Google. There's this great website called Google. You can go on Google, Jack, and you can just Google why does the Fed target 3%, and you'll get a very nice explanation.
And guess what? Why is our country $39 trillion in debt?
Do you think that before we were ever in debt, do you think during Bill Clinton's surplus in the budget that we didn't target inflation?
I mean, okay, listen, we're $39 trillion in debt.
Please answer my question. Do you think in Bill Clinton's economy, where we had a surplus in the budget, that the Federal Reserve did not target a certain inflation number?
What did Reagan say about economists? Even though
Can you answer my question, please?
What did Reagan say about economists? What did Reagan say about economists?
Can you answer my question, please?
What did Reagan say about economists? And he was.
Can you answer my question, please?
Why are you so scared to
Please answer it. What do you mean you're not answering my question? What do you mean? You're just ignoring my question. You're running away from it.
I'm not. I'm trying to engage in what you're saying.
We are $1 trillion in debt because the Federal Reserve is stupid, right? And I'm asking you,
all these supposed economists are stupid.
Why would the Federal who do you trust on the economy if not for the economists?
Businessmen.
Where do you think they learned how the economy works?
So every single businessman has a degree in economics?
I didn't say that. I'm asking you how they learned about the economy.
By actually engaging in the economy.
So who taught them economics? Do you think they don't have any economic education? They're just like, I went out, I looked at the money. I learned so much about money by being the money guy in the economy, and I didn't learn a single thing. You know, Trump has an MBA. Literally, I'm pretty sure Trump has an MBA, right? Did he not literally take economic classes from economists?
Okay, so does every single successful businessman have an economic degree?
I didn't claim that.
I mean, you pretty much are claiming that.
I'm asking you, where do you think people who do business learned how the economy works?
Who was the first businessman, and did he have an economics degree?
Fucking A. All right, Jack, it's been great. Please use Google. I'd love to.
I mean, it's a dumb argument, man.
But like, you can learn
so much, and yet you can
learn so much.
They're the best people ever, right? Oh man,
you should trust more businessemmen. Those businessmen who invented the new thing that's not economics.
I mean, we got a businessman in the office. You guys seem to hate him.
Do you? Again, I'm pretty
sure he has an MBA. A billionaire. Mm-hmm. Hey, a billionaire.
Do you think he used any sort of economic principles to get that money?
But everybody hates him, right? Everybody hates him. He doesn't know what he's doing with the economy, even though he took an economics class. So hey, maybe they're not teaching all that great, right?
Well, I mean, he literally wants to override the Federal Reserve, which is fucking stupid and is going to cause a recession. And he probably is going to cause a recession, or maybe already has, because he won't release his economic numbers. I don't know if you saw that. And he also tried to fire his BLS, person, because they released numbers that made him look bad. So yeah, he's doing a pretty fucking bad job with the economy. But you know what? He at least took an economics class and trusts it more than you. So as stupid and retarded as Trump is on the economy, somehow you are even fucking stupider than he is.
He got voted on the economy.
No, I mean you're sitting here trying to make yourself sound smart, like, oh man, if I had
No,
I had
actually,
$100,000
I'm
and I
actually
invested
admitting
it and
to
it
you
came back.
that I'm pretty economically illiterate, but even I understand that deflation is bad because I can have the basic understanding of how fucking the economy works, and you can't even use Google to look this up because you have this weird
don't need to
conspiracy
Google to
brain where
look this up.
if an economist said it, it must be wrong because economists are responsible for the debt. Also, I don't even understand why debt is bad.
No,
in
I
terms
take
of
what they
government.
say.
Like,
I take
yeah.
what they say with a grain of salt because it's like they must not know everything. If every single presidency we're overspending, every single presidency we're over the budget.
If you are an intelligent
presidency-
person, Jack, if you were an intelligent person, I would say, you know what? Skepticism is healthy. I take it with a grain of salt, but you know what? I'm still going to say that deflation is probably a bad thing, and I'm going to do my research and not definitively say that everything that they say is dumb and wrong because of the debt. Like, this is the stupidest fucking mindset ever.
Yeah, you can spit that to the 27 viewers you have. You have a good night, brother.
Thanks for coming on, Jack. You have a great night. Well, that was a good one to end it on, Corey. We finally got a certified retard in here. That was a good night. Thanks, Corey. Sorry we went a little over. Guys, I got to go. I have some friends waiting for me at a bar in which I will not drink at. So have a wonderful night, everybody. Type 1 in the deep state. Go check out the description if you want to support Unfuck America at Arizona. You can also buy tickets if you want to see me in person, meet me in person. I don't do meet and greets. I'll just be there. And if you're there and I'm there, then you can say, hey, that's the guy with the stupid hat. You don't have to like fucking show up at any particular time. I will just be there. So yeah, support us. Thanks for tuning in. That was fun. Corey, go spend time with your family. I'm going to go spend time with my friends. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I might do a stream tomorrow to keep you guys company.